We run our entire company with Zoho, from accounting to HR, loss prevention, document management, everything, pretty much.
We're a tugboat company, and we have about 65 tugboats that are entering their daily traffic within Zoho Creator, and that's how we're using that, and I've been very happy with it. It's an excellent product.
Hi everyone. Today we have with us Karthee, founder and first volunteer of Team Everest, an NGO that helps bridging the education gap in the society through volunteer. What started out as a one-person's dream in 2006 is now supported by 15,000 volunteers throughout India. So, hi Karthee, how are you doing?
Yeah, hi Shweta, I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. So, what started as one person's dream is your dream, and now 15,000 volunteers. How does it feel, Karthee? How has the journey been so far?
Yeah, it's a great journey actually. Like volunteering is my identity right now. So volunteering is my passion because my vision is to inspire every Indian to volunteer. So yeah, so we have started small. We have reached this position, but still miles to go. But it's an amazing journey so far.
So, you mentioned that volunteering has always been your passion, right? I also learned about some research that you're working with a corporate before. So what made you quit your corporate job and set up an NGO?
See, basically, like I told you, like my vision is to inspire every Indian to volunteer and make India as one of the biggest volunteering nation in the world. So I was working earlier with Cognizant, an IT company here. So I worked there for 100 months. So even like out of 100 months, I was like 15 months as a Java developer, and rest 85 months I was part of their Cognizant CSR team. So even there, I was actually doing CSR. So I basically quit my job in 2014, December 31st, basically because I'm very passionate about volunteering. So by the time, like I was there, we enabled around 40,000 employees to volunteer. And I thought, okay, if I can go out and enable more corporates, more people to volunteer, I can create that culture of volunteering. So in order to chase my vision, that's the only option I had. So I come from a lower middle class family. So it's like a decision there, like either I can just stay there, financially secure myself. That is one route. And the other route is like, like, okay, you go out, maybe you not be as financially secure as you could be while working in a corporate, but you can chase your dream. So I just asked myself a question. Okay, I'm 17 now, I'm in my deathbed, and say, what would be happy about? Will I be happy with a healthy bank account or bank balance, or will I be happy chasing my dream? So the answer is obviously chasing my dream. So decision was pretty easy to take at that point, and that's what made me actually quit and like chase, do this full time now.
Right. That's amazing, actually. So, volunteering, although has always been an in-person activity, right? How is Team Everest coping up with the pandemic situation?
With the pandemic situation, yeah, right, yeah. See, Team Everest, like you mentioned, we started in 2006. So it's been this August, we will be completing like 14 years now. So a lot of our volunteers, actually, we are based out of Chennai in India, but our volunteers are spread across the globe. We have volunteers from 30 different countries. So in Chennai, we have only, though our operations is in Chennai, we have only 4,000 volunteers from Chennai. So 11,000 volunteers are spread across different countries. All of them were Indians, but moved to various countries, even within India. Like we have 4,000 people outside India. So 11,000 people are within India right now. So if you look at it, right, even before the pandemic has happened, the only way I can engage all these volunteers is by doing virtual volunteering activities. So we were doing virtual volunteering for a very long time, and when especially pandemic happened, like it was pretty easy for us to move from an offline mode to the online mode completely, because we were already doing some 4 or 5 virtual volunteering opportunities, and the COVID happened, and a lot of corporates, a lot of volunteers now are like locked down inside the home, and they wanted to volunteer from home. So we scaled up all our virtual volunteering opportunities. Today, if you look at it, we have around 17 different virtual volunteering opportunities, and we have engaged more than 2,000 volunteers in the past 2-3 months, and we are teaching. We have reached out to around 4,000 children in the past 2 months, because these children do not have options to learn right now, because the schools and colleges are shut down. So the only learning opportunity for them is via the programs that we do at Team Everest.
So when you say virtual volunteering and they're learning via online modules, do they have access to any devices? How does it work?
Okay, see, we actually work with children right from LKG to college students. So what happens is mostly like so we work in two areas. One is in Chennai city, and another is in villages. So if you look at it, the mobile penetration in Chennai is like 85% to 90%. So mostly here we work with college students. So the penetration with college students is like 90% of them have a own smartphone, whereas in villages the penetration is very less, so they have like only 15 or 20% of them. One fifth of the children have access to smartphone. So what we do is like in Chennai we use things like WhatsApp or online webinars kind of things to reach these people, and in villages we use we call it as tele volunteering. So a normal phone call would do. So then most of the time the school students will not have phones here. So what we do is, like we reach out to the parents' mobile and the teaching happens via phone.
How do you see the non-profit sector is going to benefit from tech while moving forward? What are the changes that you can predict?
Yeah, okay. So Team Everest is one of the heavy Zoho users actually. So we were using Zoho right from 2009 onwards. Especially Zoho Creator is the first application that we started using when we started. Like when I mean it's way back in 2009 actually. So it's been almost 11 years since we are using it. So if you look at today, like Zoho used to sell Zoho runs on Zoho, right? Like we tell Team Everest runs on Zoho. So all our application, we are a Zoho one user. We use more than 40 apps within Team Everest. Zoho Creator is the center of all our operations, actually speaking. So all the volunteering that I have spoken so far actually works on Zoho Creator. So I don't think without Zoho Creator it would have been very very difficult for us, because like just you are sitting inside a home and trying to manage like 4,000 children, 2,000 people, 6,000 people, and under 17 different initiatives. So like this is not possible without having a great tech tool in place with
And what about NGO sectors in general? Do you think more of them are inclining towards technology and using it as a tool to volunteer?
Right. Yeah. See, mostly a lot of old-fashioned non-profits are still trying to catch up with the technology. See, in fact, if you ask me, like 4 or 5 years back, I am part of one group where there are 1,000 non-profits. These are very, very deep-rooted non-profits. Like from rural parts of India. So these kinds of non-profits, they in at the time, like 4 years back, they didn't even had an email ID actually. So like when I want to communicate something to these 1,000 NGOs, 80% of them they didn't even have that add an email ID. This I'm talking about around 2015 2016. But later slowly social media picked up, so people started building social medias and WhatsApp groups came. So yeah, so people are adopting to technology slowly. But if you ask me, a lot of these non-profits which started very late, like after 2010 2012, these are started by millennials actually. So whichever non-profit started by millennials and the younger generation, they are good at tech. But if you look at a lot of these non-profits have constraint with respect to human resources. So whatever tech that is available, easy to build, people work on it. But apart from it, if you look at it, only big non-profits or non-profits that have been established for a long time with good technology, use technology. If not, like these people just use spreadsheets and other stuff. And like, and especially tech is required when there's a scale involved. When you're doing at small scale, like a lot of non-profits in India work on kind of small scale. At least 80 to 90% will be small scale non-profits. But there are a lot of non-profits who work at huge scales, and those are non-profits. I mean, they scale because of technology. Without technology, scale is not possible.
And was adopting the technology, the local technology, difficult for you? How was the learning curve?
Yeah, see, for Team Everest, actually, if you look at it, technology is one of our key differentiator, actually, because like, see, my have a very unique skill set. So I worked in Cognizant, like I told you, I worked as a Java developer for 15 months. After that, I worked for 85 months as a CSR guy, and then I came and worked full time for the non-profit. So I'm both a technical person, I am a CSR guy, I am a non-profit guy. So this combination is very unique. So I'm a very firm believer in technology, because technology will enable you to help more people. So right from day one, we we were dependent on technology, and with the scale that we operate right now, so we work with 15,000 volunteers and 40,000 children a year, so handling 55,000 people, and we have a very small core team of 22 people working full time. So trying to manage such a huge crowd, I don't think it's possible without technology. So for us, it actually helped us do it, especially like something like Zoho and Zoho Creator especially is like a drag and drop feature where you can build applications very quickly with very minimal coding knowledge. I think like that's the one of the reason why we adopted to Zoho Creator. If you look at it, I want to go build native applications, and then I need person with JavaScript or PHP, all those skills, right? I mean, so the developers are very costlier in the market. You can't hire them as a non-profit. So the way is to like build it quickly, keep your development time small, and make it easy for people, so that like you can train resources very quickly and deploy them. So for us, because I come from a technical background, it's a lot more easier for us. But for people, so for even for us now, AI is coming, ML is coming, blockchain, all these words actually scares me now, because I don't know anything about these things. So I think like I can now empathize the other side of the group who, right, for them technology would really scare them. So yeah, so I think technology is evolving very fast than ever.
And when did you first come across Zoho Creator? I mean, was it like word of mouth, or were you evaluating local options? How did you
Yeah,
first come?
it's an actually a very interesting story. So what happened is, in 2009, there's a very famous magazine called Pudhiya Talaimurai in Tamil Nadu. So that actually wrote a 4-page article about Team Everest. So they were writing an article about Kalam. So like, so Kalam was like one of our advisors. So we were part of a group called Action 2020, where a lot of non-profits part of it, and we used to meet Kalam. I myself have personally met him 4 times. So when they were writing an article about Dr. Abdul Kalam, though, so they wrote an like they included Team Everest and wrote an article about us for 4 pages. So one of your Zoho employee actually read it. Her name is actually Huma Mageshwari. So she is part of Zoho University right now. So she actually read it, and she told, like, Karthee, why don't you meet? So at the time, Zoho is in Valacheri actually. So I went and met her and tried to understand what Zoho was doing. I think that time Zoho had few apps, but especially Zoho CRM, Zoho Creator were few good apps that they had. And I am a metallurgical engineer. I don't have any marketing background or sales background, nothing. So when I actually looked into CRM, I couldn't understand anything. What is a lead? What is a contact? I couldn't understand anything. So that's when I looked at Zoho Creator. It's like a drag and drop. It's like a plain canvas. I can build whatever I want. So I cannot use CRM because I don't have the domain knowledge over there. Now we are using Zoho CRM as well, because I understood what it is all about. But way back in 2009, I'm absolutely blank. I also had a full-time job to manage, so I couldn't understand anything there. So we took Zoho Creator, and we started like building application for us. I think today we use more than 42 apps we have built inside Zoho Creator, and like more than lakhs of records we put up. So Zoho Creator is like your how a sun is to a solar system. Zoho Creator is something like that for Team Everest. It's at the center of all our operations right now.
We're really glad to know that, Kathy. That's very sweet. So, when talking about Zoho Creator and how easy it was to build applications, what was the specific requirement?
See, where we actually started is we started with donation management actually, because like people were giving donations. So as a non-profit, we have certain compliances to follow. We need to do auditing, all those stuff. So every donation needs to be tracked, every expenses needs to be tracked. And like I told you, like I come from a metallurgical background, so I don't have any auditing skills or financial skills kind of. So when I looked into Tally and all, I couldn't understand anything. So what we did is, so like we basically started this for bookkeeping. So we had a great donation management system built in. So we built it in 2009 actually, and we upgraded it in 2016. So we call it as Finance Tracker 2.0, and even till that we are using that. So all the donations, all the expenses, everything started going inside it. So that was one of our requirement, and even before that, even before the Finance Tracker 2.0, it's an event management application, because like as a non-profit, we do a lot of events on weekends. So those days, nowadays we do it on weekdays also, but weekends is when we started. While I used to work in the IT company. So what happens is, earlier, no, I did not have a registration form first of all. So like that, I mean, this is a story I have told many times to many people within Zoho. How we actually started is the problem that it solved is the registration part of it. So we had an event in an old age home where there are like 20 15 grand, I think 20 grandmas or 15 grandmas, but we had like 25 people, 30 people coming in. So it's like 1:1 grandma and 2 volunteer was there, and it's a very small space. We didn't even had a space for volunteers to go and stand inside. This happened because those days sign up was happening over emails. So what happens is whenever I do an event, I send an email to our volunteer group. People will reply to it, and I will just copy paste their details into an Excel sheet. I keep building this list. This is how it was happening. So initially it was great when we had only 100 volunteers, 200, 500 volunteers, but the group started growing, right? 1,000 people, 1,500, 2,000 people. When I send mail to 2,000 people, suddenly 40, 50 people will come back and tell me I am ready to volunteer. And how do I stop them? So after 20 signups, I need to send a mail again to them telling them, sorry, we got enough signups. That's how it was happening. And after this old age home visit happened, right? What happened is, then okay, I thought, okay, we should do something else. And there was a blogging platform while I used to work in Cognizant. So what happens is, every event I used to write a blog post and ask people to comment there if they are interested to volunteer. So people will comment after 20 signups, say I did 20 volunteers. After 20 signups, I will go put the 21st comment as, okay, we got enough volunteers. Now I'm disabling the comments. I will put the comment and I will disable the comment. Now then manually I will pull it and do it. But this is a very, very time consuming activity, because you have to write a post and send out an email, then people will come and comment, then manually copy paste it into an Excel and build it. So you can't do more than 1-2 activities, because this itself is a huge work. So that is where we were struck. And 2009 this article happened, and I got introduced to Zoho, and Zoho Creator came. Immediately we started able to create so many forms very quickly. Like within like 1-2 months we are able to scale up like 400 times. 4 times we increased the number of activities we're able to do, because our problem of event registration is over now. So like Zoho, after 20, the form will automatically close. It will tell someone comes to sign up, it will tell, like, we got enough volunteers, now you can't sign up, kind of. So it is so cool. And like that's where our journey started with Zoho Creator.
Right. And how many applications have you been using Creator? You mentioned donor management. What are the
So we
other
use 40 to 42 applications. So this has been built for various reasons, for various campaigns actually. But the key is being the finance part of it. So for managing your fundraising and taking care of your accounting, we need so many modules. So everything we put it together in Zoho Creator. We created an app called Finance Tracker that has more than, like, I would say 30-40 different forms, because like everything, for every donation, donation platforms that we use, the payment gateways that we use, everything gets tracked over there. So Finance Tracker is one of the key thing. The event management is other thing. Now for virtual volunteering, we have created another app. So we have an app for expense management. So everything has been built and integrated inside Zoho Creator right now, Shweta.
And did you build these applications by yourself, or was it an external form of support?
Yeah. So what we did is, so initially how it happened is, initially I started building the applications slowly. So, and like almost till 2016, it's me who was building it. And when the organization started growing, I brought in a developer in-house, and they started developing it. And over time, and the organization grows, the number of applications that we need also, I mean, is required, because like your operation load increases, so you obviously need more apps to reduce the burden on the employees. So we bought in like 2 more resources to build it. So today, if you look at it, we have like 2 full-time developers and 3 interns. So interns are our scholars. See, that's the key here. We have 3 college students who are into second year into arts group, who are building applications in Zoho Creator. So it's that easy actually to build applications, and we pay them a very, very nominal stipend for them. So at like I probably, I would say 1/10 of the cost what the market is paying for a regular developer, I am building we are building world-class applications actually. So in fact, like when I was speaking with some of the corporates, they told, like, we work with so many non-profits, no one has this kind of a tech background at the end. So a lot of credit actually should go to Zoho, because like, I felt luckily I landed up on Zoho, but today I really feel happy, like we made a very wise choice a decade back.
So, how long will it take for you to deploy, implement applications? I mean, I understand that you have over 42 applications,
Correct.
and each of them has been developed over time, right, based on the demand.
Correct.
But on an average, how long will it take for you to build and deploy the application?
See, if you ask me, the minimum time that we need is probably half a day or one day. See, today, even this weekend, we are launching a new initiative for which the app development just started today morning, and today evening 5 o'clock we are launching that initiative. So it's as simple as that. When your requirement is very small, but some of this initiative like the Finance Tracker 2.0 and all, it was built over time. So even now I am adopting a new payment gateway or something. Again, we need to build an application for that. So some of it takes you months to build, depending on, I mean, whenever the requirement comes, it built. But overall, like in a 2 months, 3 months time, you can build a very, very good enterprise level kind of an application in just 2 months or 1 month also. So we built like the COVID, which we launched the 17 initiatives. It just took 30 days, 45 days to do it. But initially, 10 initiatives we launched within 3 days. 3 days we launched 10 initiatives, and next 7 initiatives had some complex requirements, which took us like 30, 35 days to build it. But in 45 days we launched 17 initiatives. It's what average of 2.5 days we are launching one initiative.
Wow.
I can't even imagine this with traditional app development. Like even just to change a color or change the text line or add an additional field, that's very, very time consuming.
And how many users do you have for all these applications?
See, we have a lot of public users, like I told you. Like, see, for example, there's 2,000 people who signed up. All this is public users, actually speaking. But we have like 50 licenses, so we have people using it internally for developers. We were using it. In fact, I was invited as a guest to speak in one of the Zoho leaks, which happened in Chennai. So I gave a presentation about how we use Zoho, and we committed because Zoho has done so much for Team Everest. We got benefited from the application that you guys built. So I told this can actually benefit our own beneficiaries. So we went ahead and we built a lab called Zoho for Good Lab. So we have a lab in Chromepet office right now where we teach building Zoho Creator application to college students free of cost. So we are already trained more than some 30, 40 students on building Zoho Creator, and we are in discussion now with Zoho Creator to train hundreds and thousands of students on Zoho Creator, so that they can become freelancers, or they can become developers to build Zoho Creator applications full time. So yeah, so this is a cool model. Like beyond building application, I could see this as a potential employment opportunities for our children as well.
So you have been integrating your passion for volunteering with Zoho Creator as well.
Absolutely. It's so easy to build. Like you can and I mean, this will be very helpful in terms of academics. See, what we have seen is the 30, 40 children whom we trained, we saw their marks actually going up, because like now you are able to synthesize those concepts and apply it. Whatever you are reading theoretically, you are able to use the low-code platform to build the applications. Now like your mind is able to map things now. Oh, this is how it works, kind of. So we have seen their academic marks also getting increased. So I think low code is the future. Low code and no code is going to be the future. So I think we are in a good shape right now with respect to usage of Zoho Creator. We also see Zoho Creator very constantly rolling out new features as well. So that is the key, because like what we saw in 2009 and what we see now is a different platform altogether. And I think that is the key. If the platform would have stagnated, I think we would have run out of usage right now. But currently, what I could see is every 1 month, every 2 months, I could see a lot of features coming in. Now all these mobile SDK, everything rolled out. So it's like we are now lagging behind what Zoho Creator is creating. Our team needs to upgrade ourselves to keep making best use of all the features you guys roll out.
Right. And Karthee, if you have to pick 3 main benefits that you take for Team Everest using Creator, what would be?
Okay, so in terms of usage of Zoho Creator is right.
Yeah.
The first one is agility. So agility in the sense, like something changes. Okay, today I want this, I can build it. But in a traditional software development, it is not possible. I can think about an idea today, and I can roll out in the afternoon, and I can build that application by night. I think that kind of agility is something that strikes my mind quickly. So second thing I would say is very less building time. Like you don't need to put months or weeks of efforts together. You can build it in hours and days also. That's the biggest thing. Low learning curve. So like I can only pay 50,000 1 lakh rupee to begin a developer and develop complex apps, which is very difficult to maintain. Like then it's going to cost you heavily. So we are not a business, we are a non-profit, right? So we can't invest so much money inside technology. So because a lot of this money needs to go to beneficiary, right, rather than paying it to the developers. So I think that is one of the key, very low learning curve, which means that I can put any resources inside, quickly train them. I mean, I will tell you something. Last month, last year, what happened is we had a couple of developers who suddenly quit the company. So our organization was left out with only one developer, and like we need people. So what happened? That's the time one of our scholar was completing. We do a scholarship program called I Am the Change Scholarship. So we had a student who was doing BSc Maths, and she completed it, and she have no idea about computers. I mean, believe me or not, she can't even operate an Excel sheet. Okay, so we actually bought her, trained her. Within like 2-3 months, she started doing basic application within Zoho Creator. 6 months down the line, she is one of the superstar of Team Everest right now. She built any requirement I give her, she's able to build. Just 6 months is what it actually takes to train it. So very very low learning curve is the key here, and obviously low cost. Like your efforts is less, your time invested is less. I think it's the cheapest way to build applications.
So would you say that in terms of cost, has helped you cut down on the development and other
Absolutely. Software is not I mean, one thing I learned in this journey is that software is not a one-time job. It's not that, okay, like a furniture, I purchased it, I'm going to use it completely. Software is something you need to constantly upgrade, continuously monitor. So it's never a one-time cost at all. It's an ongoing expense for you. So until the application is not easy to maintain, can I deploy some cheap labor and maintain the applications? It's very difficult. It's a different ball game altogether.
And if you had to pick again your favorite features or the features that has helped you immensely throughout the journey, what would they be?
So I would say the do-it-yourself kind of drag and drop features, very cool. And also the deluge is cool because like only drag and drop I have, and now I cannot build complex workflows inside. Then it would have limited our operations. Actually, you can't do much with Zoho Creator then. But it adds this deluge feature also. I think that is the key. And even all those reports, building those dashboards very quickly, pulling it out. I think these are some of our very favorite features. I have so many features actually, all the schedulers, everything. I actually like it. But yeah, so these are my top three.
So anything else, Karthee, that you'd like to add?
So the one word that comes to my mind is actually gratitude. I should actually thank Zoho for this brilliant product, not just Zoho Creator, but for all the brilliant products. Once we become Zoho One, the integration of this product is so beautiful. So I think gratitude is the word that I have. So like without Zoho, I'm very sure we would have not even done 50% of what we done now, because like technologies is. I mean, I always used to say technology is the game changer, because that is an enabler. That's like your liver, right? That gives you enormous power to go and do things. I don't think 20 years before, like any non-profit could have done something like this, because like if you want to operate at scale with very less human resource on your side, you really need tech in place. I think that is the key. That is where I think Zoho and Zoho Creator has succeeded. So I wish you guys all the best, and let many more non-profits and many more businesses benefit out of it, and impact more lives.
Thank you so much, Karthee. We also genuinely hope that we're able to serve you better throughout your journey, and as you said, help you with progress. So thank you so much for your time.
My pleasure, Shweta. Thank you so much. Thanks for this opportunity.